Hi, John from Racimoto. I wanted to show you how to set up the suspension on the Ultra to suit yourself. It's really important to do. If you don't set the suspension up correctly, the bike is not going to handle properly, might even be unsafe. So let's talk about the sag. Now, what that means is how much the suspension compresses when your natural weight is on the bike. So generally, we're looking for 1/3 of the travel as sag. So in the case of the Surron Ultra, it has 240mm travel. We need 1/3 of that, so our target is 80mm on the sag. I'll show you how that works. So what we're going to do is lift the bike up with a tape measure. Not lift it up with a tape measure, but use the tape measure, and then lift the bike up as high as it'll go without lifting off the ground, and then measure from a point that you can repeat. So this one's saying 860 at the rear. We've got that written down there. And then we're going to measure the front. Now make sure you pick the suspension up because it does have a bit of natural sag on the suspension just from its own weight. So make sure the bike is vertical, and that was 850. So what I've written on the board is our two targets. Now what we're going to do is put a natural body weight on this and see what effect there is without the stand, obviously. So natural body weight in a seated position, and we're going to measure the rear. Now it'd really help to have two people at this point. So we're looking for a target of 780 on that, and on the front, as I said, you'd need two people to do this a lot easier. Keeping all your body weight on it, we're looking for a target of 770. Now, when I've measured this with help, we didn't reach those targets. The front didn't sag enough. Only sagged 60mm, not 80mm. So what you do is on the bottom fork leg, use a screwdriver, and the screwdriver, you're able to wind out the compression. So if you come in closer, you'll notice that with a flat blade screwdriver underneath, it says here negative compression, positive. So you'd wind that out until you reach the desired level. So I've wound this completely out, so it's the least compression, but it's still not compressing enough for my weight. But that's as good as I can do. 60mm sag. Now on the rear, to do the same, we've got two options. We've got compression adjustment up here, and we've got the ability to wind the spring down. So in this particular case, what we're going to do now is work out, is the front dropping more than the back when I put more weight on it? Ideally, we want the suspension to fall the same amount both front and rear. So it's a good idea to have something to prop against. Put all your weight central, bounce up and down, and then get someone to look at the side and tell you, is the front suspension or the rear suspension going down more? You want them both to travel down evenly. If they're not, then you adjust your compression to balance that out. So in this particular case, it feels like it's close, maybe the back a little bit more drop. So I'm going to increase the compression at the back. I'll take it up 2 clicks, make it 3 clicks, and we'll try that again. Oh, I can feel the difference. That's too hard. Take it back. So that's better. We're bouncing similar. To adjust the rebound on the top, clockwise is more rebound, and then anti-clockwise is less rebound. So where rebound is important, that's the speed of the shock bouncing back. So If it's very slow bouncing back, when you hit an obstacle, the wheel is going to stay in the air longer, which means you may have traction issues if the ground's really bumpy. If the rebound is too quick, you might hit an obstacle and it'll actually buck you off. So you want the rebound to be fairly neutral so that it comes up reasonably slow, not enough to pogo you, enough just to keep your stability. So that feels quite good. The next thing would be to go and test it in the real world to see how it reacts and then adjust it accordingly. But that's your basic suspension setup. You're looking for that even sag. You're looking for a rebound that allows the bike to come up and down at the same pace, and also the compression at the same pace. So in this particular case, I'm out of adjustment range on the compression on the front, which limits me. I don't have quite enough sag, but it's adequate. So like, comment and subscribe if you can, just to help us out, keep these videos coming. Thanks for your support, and let us know if you've got any questions.